My understanding is tax cases can be hard. Criminal tax cases can be hard to build, and the reason is that people can they can make mistakes, or they can engage in sort of aggressive use of the tax code that doesn't cross over into criminal. What is the line? What are you looking to establish if you are a criminal prosecutor in this case, Cy Vance?
You're right. It can be a fine line, and I think there's a tendency to oversimplify. There's looking from the outside in. You might think, well, let's just look. Now we've got the records, or the DA's office has the records. Let's look at the four corners of these records and let's see what they show. Do they show an inflation of certain assets for certain purposes, or deflation for certain purposes? But you're absolutely right, Chris, that you have to prove a prosecutor is going to have to show willful and intentional conduct that you're going to have to pin on individuals. And so you've got to look outside the four corners of the documents. As Ankush just pointed out, you've got to look at the work papers, you've got to look at the business records, and the best of all scenarios is you've got an insider who can actually walk you through it, because it can be incredibly complex and nuanced, and get you to intent. And that's really what it is here. It's criminal intent. And that is not so easy from a set of papers and documents. It's
right. The documents, it's hard to make intent of the documents alone, is what you're saying.
Exactly right.
You worked in an office that I'm sure had political conceptions, right? Running around the state attorney general. You do your job apolitically, but politics exists outside. Like, the thinking inside that office about this.
Yeah, look, I'm sure, to Ankush's point, this could take a while. And I think I'm certain that the DA's office is going to take the time that's necessary, but to also do it as quickly as possible while memories are fresh, while there's, interest. There's obviously a great amount of public scrutiny and public interest in this case. And so they're not going to let it get stale. They're throwing all the resources at it. They've got consulting, an outside consulting company, and they brought in Mark Pomerantz, who is a very reputable and respected investigator and former prosecutor. And so they're looking to get this done. They obviously have been waiting for a year now for these records, and they're going to get to it as quickly as they absolutely can.
The segment has served as an intro into why white-collar criminals get away with it, and why white-collar criminal prosecutions are difficult and rare. With Danya Perry and Ankush Khidori. Thank you both. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris.
Big news this week as America